Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning, Melissa. How are you?
I'm good. I'm Melissa Flournoy. I'm the board chair of Louisiana Progress, and I'm a former member of the Louisiana legislature. And I'm here today to thank Representative Landry for her compassion and leadership, and also to thank these brave women who have come to speak to you today to tell their truth. I'm here to support House Bill 67 to decriminalize sex work, and I'm here today to talk about morality and hypocrisy. Based on the behavior of way too many men in Louisiana and many who are elected officials, and I won't name all the names today, but David Vitter comes to mind. Men who have participated in sex work as patrons. So I want to tell the story before we demonize these women and we talk about morality, because there are two sides to this story. If we don't decriminalize, then we need to talk about the patrons of sex workers, because they are now criminals too. You heard about the efforts of Jefferson Parish in setting up stings and sort of the unfortunate outcome of our efforts, which have unintended consequences and drive trafficked victims even further into obscurity and vulnerability. But unfortunately, the men are rarely punished, arrested, or publicly humiliated. I remember back 20 years ago and the Canal Street Madam, and I just watched the documentary the other day. I recommend it to you. And the number of prominent men in Louisiana, judges, doctors, elected officials, lawyers, prominent businessmen, who were frequently patrons of various brothels in New Orleans. I venture to guess there are still brothels in New Orleans, and there are still men patronizing sex work. But in the event that we do not pass House Bill 67 today and support it, I would encourage you to look at the criminalization of the patrons of sex work. Because if we don't, I guess the bottom line, and I close to my 3 minutes, is that let's live in the real world, Representative James. Let's acknowledge the behavior of adult humans. Let's know that there are people we know, some who serve in this body in the past, present, and probably future, who will have paid for consensual sex. If we don't prosecute the men who are driving force for sex work, then we shouldn't be prosecuting the women either. So let's realize that today you have heard the heartfelt stories of women who have chosen to pursue sex work as a means to support themselves and their families. It's appropriate to decriminalize sex work, and if not for the women, do it for the men. Thank you.